Hi guys. So many of you requested me to review this Toyota Crown. So I got this car for my father, and of course it's not brand new when I got it. It is a 2005 Toyota Crown with a 2.5 liter engine and V6 2.5 V6 engine, and yeah, because this was to replace our 2004 Toyota Camry. I'm not sure if you can see over there from the mirror, but from the camera, but look at the aircon vents. Look at where my hand is, and then look at it. Look at how it moves by itself. Yes, I believe this entire Taman, this is the only car with auto oscillating air conditioned vents, and I can switch it off or I can leave it there. So it's 12 years old and this auto oscillating aircon vent still works. If this were to be in a German car, it would have stopped working 10 years ago. So anyway, this is a Toyota, and it's a little bit dusty. My dad is about 70 years old, so I can't expect him to really clean the car. I go and tapao food for him now, and then I'll see if I have time to send it to a car wash. Nevertheless, what I'm touching here, look at these controls for the air conditioning unit. This part, both of them, are wrapped in Napa leather. Really high quality Napa leather, and this part here is in some super high quality wood inlays. These are the same type as, it looks like the same type as what Lexus would call the Shimamoko wood. It's here, it's here, 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 here. Yep, Shimamoko wood inlays, Napa leather lining on the dashboard. So the Crown in Japan back then was sort of the flagship of Toyota before Lexus came out, and then they sort of rebadged the Lexus LS into the Toyota Celsio. So this was the Taiko. And in Japan back then, before Lexus was introduced into Japan, because Lexus was introduced into Japan in 2009, if I'm not wrong, really late. Before that, this guy was sort of, yeah, it was the flagship. It was selling higher than I would guess. It is more expensive than the Lexus GS. That was back then, right? Now the new Crowns are not positioned as highly because in terms of the rationalization of the product positioning. So you have the new Toyota Crowns that they are not as luxurious as this one. This one, as well as the one that came after this, no, the facelift that came after this was the last of its so-called flagship Toyota positioning. After that, Lexus was already introduced, so they don't position the Crown as high as before. So this is rear-wheel drive, 2.5 V6, and the first thing that I loved when I drove this car is the throttle response. It is immediate. Yes, it's naturally aspirated. This engine was also in the Toyota Mark X, which is also a rear-wheel drive luxury Toyota. The Mark X is one position lower than the Crown. So the Crown has this really supple leather, comfortable interior, and yes, it's old, that's why the suspension makes a little bit of that the kind of sound, but soundproofing wise, it's quiet. It has that Optitron meter, keyless entry, cruise control. It has quite a bit of amenities, and that stupid Japanese only mini disc is also here. But overall, it's a very soothing car to drive. It's smooth, and you know what? When we trade in the 2004 Toyota Camry, you know, the big fat Camry, the first time Camry became big fat big potato Camry, the 2.4 Camry, That car, right, because we frequently travel down to Singapore, half my family is from Singapore. That car, when we drove down to Singapore, by before Tuas, it's already done, finished, no more fuel. All right, the same amount of fuel in this car, this 2.5 V6. From what I heard from my dad, he always drives down there. This is by far way more fuel efficient than that 2.4 Camry. The 4-cylinder 2.4 guzzles more fuel than this 6-cylinder 2.5 V6. So yeah, and it's quiet, it's comfortable, it sounds alright, it sounds better than that 4-cylinder Camry, and I think it's comfortable. It's very comfortable to drive, and everything still works. Every single thing still works. I'm gonna bring you guys around the cabin later, and this is where Toyota's legendary reliability came from. This car still works like a charm, and it's still very, very smooth and nice. All right, yeah, it works just fine, and very low maintenance, and it's a nice car. But you cannot buy this car with a loan anymore because it's 2005. You have to buy it with cash, and I would think they cost about, I don't know, 60,000-70,000 now, or 80, but it's nice. Memory seats, everything is there, all the luxury features are there, and I really like how the plastic quality in this car just feels one step higher than those in the Camry. You know, it just feels one level up. It uses real wood and all that, and the mechanisms that all these lids and all that, as I was pushing it, it all feels really nice. And the car is just, yeah, overall it is finished in a higher grade of material than the usual run-of-the-mill Camrys. I mean, we know this car isn't cheap at all when it was new, okay? And I think this car looks badass. It looks really, really cool. I love the profile of this car, and I just love the way it looks. And yeah, the aircon is still cold. And the seats are super wide. You know, these are proper luxury car seats. Nowadays I find a lot of car makers, right, they have shortcuts, what I would say. You know, they put smaller seats, and then they give you the impression that the cabin is larger. This seat is full width, and it's very comfortable. And the thing I like about it is that it's supportive, but it doesn't need those overtly aggressive contours to squeeze you in your seat. Like the 5 Series, the 530i that I was in, those are really nice seats, but I'm just fat, right? So the side bolsters just press into my fat, and then it squeezes my fat to the front, so it makes my tummy look larger. Anyway, so the seats are really nice, and there are handles at the back. So if you are some datin datos who, if you used to be a datin dato, you are still a datin dato, but you're not as rich as last time when you became datin datos. So you have to get a luxurious car to fit your social status and all that. And then this car still is really good because the back seats are still superbly comfortable, and the handles and all that, and the leather. When you get up this car, you feel the leather, right? They are just different quality. So yeah, in fact, back then, datins or datos became datins or datos not because they're rich, it's because they contribute to society, right? So this is the proper car for real datin and datos, because yeah, it's not about being rich, it's about contributing to the country, right? And I think if you drive this car, it means what? Compared to the Range Rover SVR next to me, this guy just only got rich. And if you drive this, it means you got rich earlier. Yeah. Okay guys, a lot of you requested me to review the Crown. I know earlier on I did a short walk around of this car. So this is a 2005 Toyota Crown. So in that generation you have a, was it 3 litre or 3.5 V6? But this is the 2.5 V6. And there's a Crown Athlete and a Crown Majesta or something like that. This is the Athlete. This is sort of like the sporty version with a 18-inch rims and a mesh grille up front. The mesh grills, mind you, it doesn't feel like plastic. Okay, it is plastic, but really hard plastic, and there's some reflective materials there, so it sort of looks like metal. Okay, of course it aged. This is a tinting film, and then it got like dirty and all that, but overall the car works perfectly, and I think this car has a very, very beautiful proportion. It's rear-wheel drive. It has a very short front overhang, as you can see there. All right, and then it has a very spacious cabin, and then the boot is huge as well. So I really like this car, especially the boot, the rear. I like the profile where it sort of tapers in, and it looks really sporty. So 2005 Crown, but I have no idea why this car doesn't come with reverse sensors. It has no reverse sensor. So for your information, now every car has reverse sensors, right? The invention came from Toyota. Toyota invented reverse sensors. Okay, so not everything is invented by BMW or Mercedes-Benz. And that's the rear. We got these tail lamps from China because this car is very sellable in China. There's a lot of them, and if we were to buy original from Toyota, it's gonna cost upwards of, I don't know, 6,000 or 8,000 ringgit for two of them. We got it off China, and it cost me about, I forgot the price, but it's about 700 ringgit for both. Okay, that is yeah, that's a lot cheaper. So this car has keyless entry. It has side mirror indicators. The fronts are they're not projectors. Okay, this era, I mean, this is not projector. I think there's a high spec one with projectors. Okay, so it's a very comfortable car, and let me show you the insides. The seats are huge, very, very wide seats, so I can sit really comfortably, and it's finished in a kind of really soft leather that feels absolutely comfortable. Okay, it has keyless start, and then it has this super cool auto oscillating aircon vents. You can see them moving now. Yes, this is a 12-year-old car going into 13-year-old soon, and an oscillating aircon vent is still working fine. Okay, it has the usual stuff, you know, CD changers, MD player, that is from that era. I can adjust the transmission shift points to be more aggressive, power mode or snow mode, and there's a suspension, sport or normal suspension. Okay, sport, it will be harder and all that. And then down here you have foot operated parking brakes, powered seats and all that. All these things still works. We bought this car used to replace our 2004 Camry, because that 2004 Camry, even though the car still works, but everything starts falling apart. This one, perfect. All right, look at the door pockets. This shows this is a flagship Toyota back then. Okay, and then the boot release is here. These wood panels, these wood inlays are real, and I think they feel like those Lexus Shimamoko wood or something like that. It's very high quality. Okay, these are all real wood panels. Look at that, in a very beautiful dark green dye, so I think it looks really good. Even the dash here is covered in leather, Napa leather, very soft. And I love this armrest because I can move it up, I can take my usual stuff, or I can extend it like that. I've never seen another car with such an intricate armrest, and given that it's so intricate, if this were to be a European car, it would have been broken, but it's still working fine. Double layer, I can put a lot of stuff, and the way it works feels really, really premium. Okay, let's go to the back. Sorry for all the doodads, because I bought this car for my father, and he uses it to fetch my my grandpa and grandma, so it's mainly for old people to sit in, and they love it because the seats themselves feel super comfortable, and they have this handle at the back. It's covered in leather as well, very high quality leather, so it's very comfortable for old people to move in and out. Okay, even this thing is covered in leather, and that's the rear doors, door pockets and all that. It's a very nice, very luxurious car. From the outside, it doesn't look really big, but inside here, the seating and all that feels just superb. There's just something about this car that I like. Its exterior and interior and all that, okay? Aircons feel just fine. You can adjust the seats from the back here. Everything still works. It's a fantastic car. And look at the rear armrest. Now, that shows what a luxury car is, right? Inside here, it's all carpeted, covered in felt, okay? And then you can change the songs and all that from here. You have a cup holder here, so it feels properly premium. And you have this badging here as well. So this car doesn't feel like something that they cut costs and all that. You know, the other day I was in the Porsche Cayenne, the new Porsche Cayenne. The rear armrest is just one soft, cushy cushion with two holes there. That shows you that is one big cost cutting here. And this is a proper armrest. So I really like the interior of this car. I like the exterior of this car. I know there are now newer Toyota Crowns, but in terms of positioning, they were no longer positioned as luxurious as this one. So this generation is sort of the last Toyota Crown with an auto oscillating aircon vent. And this era, Toyota's flagship is still the Crown because Lexus hasn't been introduced into Japan yet. Yes, they have the rebadged Toyota LS as the Celsior, but that doesn't carry the classic Toyota lineage, you know, or legacy. So I really like this Toyota Crown. This is the Athlete, and yeah, I think that's about it. Does it have Isofix? Oh yes, it does, but there's no badging at the back. There's Isofix in this car. There's a child seat hook point over there as well, but there's no badge that shows that's the Isofix point. Alright, so I guess that's about it for this car. Hope you like this video, and come on lah guys, subscribe, please subscribe. I'm this close to 20,000. Please subscribe and share. You know, the least thing that you can do to appreciate us doing these kind of stuffs for you guys, right, is to like and subscribe. You know, it doesn't cost you anything, right? And leg room, headroom. All right, cheers.